found Peppermint Oreo cookies on sale. Tried to make a drink out of it. Almost didn't work. For this video, I was thinking about doing something about seeing what booze worked with any green candy I could find at the grocery store, but these things were on sale, so making a drink out of this seemed way more interesting. Now, honestly, guys, do any of you guys have a soft spot for Oreos, like as a childhood thing? The ads make it think like we all should, but I don't think I did. Anyways, the first thing I needed to do was to figure out what the flavor of the cookies were going to be in the booze. So the first thing I did was split them all apart. I put the filling and the cookie parts in jars, covered them in vodka, and let them sit for 3 days. This is what they look like after 3 days. The cookie tops and bottoms dissolve while the jars with the filling look like a prop from a bad sci-fi movie.
This just looks completely unappetizing.
If you're wondering where all the fat in the cookie is, well, it's in the filling, because that's just what fat looks like in booze. Now, the burning question that Monty had was, what does all this stuff taste like? The cookie vodka, that was great. Now, to make whatever I was planning easier to drink, I had to strain the cookie slew from it, and well, the strained cookie mush looks, well, just not appetizing. Anyways, onto the chunky green vodka. Honestly, I could have stopped here. The Oreo mint filling infused vodka was absolute killer, but it didn't have the creamy texture of the original filling. It needed to be creamy, so, well, I had to make an Oreo mint vodka cream. First step was to make fresh mint flavored syrup. I went with a 1-to-1 ratio of sugar water and a handful of fresh mint leaves. I brought it to a boil and simmered it down for 10 minutes. Now, when it comes to childhood memories, I grew up as a poor first child, so treats like Oreos were far and few between. I don't actually think I realized all the things my parents did for me, because these cookies only cost a couple of bucks per package, and that was an expense my parents felt like they could not afford. Now, they spent money on other things that I thought were silly, but we'll cover that in a different video. Anyways, for crabs and giggles, I also added the strained out green patties to the syrup. After mixing it all, I let that sit in my fridge overnight, and this is what it looked like 12 hours later. The melted filling congealed at the top of the syrup. Again, that's where all the fat is, so that makes sense. Also yummy. To make the cream, I used 2 ounces of syrup, 2 ounces of cream, and 2 ounces of strained vodka. Now, apparently when you add 4 ounces of lightly colored green fluid to milk, it just looks like milk, which wasn't going to work because, well, it's green day today, so I added some food coloring. One of the things I was aiming for was trying to layer the drink so that it had a dark top, dark bottom with a green middle. Now, with one of the infusions, I added a couple of tablespoons of syrup, hoping that the boost in sugar content would increase the specific gravity of the liquid, but that didn't work out. I was really hoping my winging it method was going to work out, but I guess now I'm only stuck with a 2-layered shot. Well, next time I'm going to have to be more serious with my ratios. So here's how I built the drink. Filled my shot glass with 20 mils of cream and layered it off with 20 mils of the cookie vodka. Now, why 20 mils? Because the shot glasses I bought are an awkward 1.8 ounces, and jiggers don't come in 0.9 ounce measurements.
Didn't quite work out the way I thought it would, but that mint cream stuff is just absolutely killer.
If you want to see all the other weird things I put in my mouth, well, hit subscribe. This was a good shot.
Oh.
Tasted like the cookie, but in liquid boozy form.
That is good.
Which kind of makes sense, because that was the entire goal, right?